Hey everybody, it's Jordan. So I am finally sitting down to put together that makeup tutorial that I've been promising. I already had it all recorded. I just have to sit down and actually do the voiceover. So I'm gonna do that in a second, and you guys are gonna hear me talking over the rest of my video where I'm doing my makeup. But before we get started with that, I just wanted to say thank you guys all for your comments and for making my recent videos so popular. Like, they have skyrocketed to 1,000 views quicker than they ever have. And they kind of plateau around there. So like my audience, the people that stick around for the videos, the 12 to 1,500 or so of you that consistently come back, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all the support and everything. And if you're not one of those regular watchers and you're just finding me now, welcome. I'm glad to have you. I am going to link some of my other videos here in this playlist, and also don't forget to subscribe with that button down below. And as always, like, comment on my video, let me know what you guys want to see in terms of other content. So, now that we've gotten through that spiel, I'm going to go ahead and hand you guys off to me in the bathroom, and I'll see you there. Alright, so for the rest of this time, I'm probably not going to be talking in the video, but I'll be talking as some sort of external voice, out there in the ether. So I'm just going to narrate what's going on, and I'm going to shut up now and do my makeup. So I like to start off with Dermablend Continuous Correction Foundation. I find that it does kind of give me the best coverage of facial hair without doing any extra coverage. Now, that said, I've also been doing laser for a few months now, so my facial hair is so much more thin, and it's been reduced greatly from when I first started doing makeup. And because of that, I don't have to do as much correction. But in the beginning stages, when I had darker hair, I would use a more orange kind of concealer or cover-up underneath all of the foundation, followed by a layer of more regular concealer cover-up relative to my skin. And then I would follow that with foundation afterwards. So things have been reduced quite greatly in terms of the process that I have to go through because of laser, and I'm so appreciative of that. I can't even overstate it. But anyway, moving on, after the foundation, we get to the setting powder, the baking powder. So I like to use a yellow one myself because I find that with me being Japanese, the yellow baking powder tends to bring out a natural tint in my skin that is more akin to my normal skin tone after applying the foundation. So once I've done that, I only really apply it under my eyes, along the T-zone, which is my forehead and nose, and along my upper lip and my chin with that baking powder. And I find that's pretty sufficient to make the foundation set in place. And then I set to work contouring my nose. So what you can see here is I'm mixing up between dark and light colors in order to play with the shading. So we want to change the shape of the way that our face is perceived based off of the way that we let light play off of it. And I've just kind of played around a lot over the course of the last year with makeup and experimenting and watching other people's videos to figure out what I can do to adjust the shape of my nose. And one thing that I want is, I want to have a little bit more of an upturn at the tip of my nose. And that's why you see that little ridge over the tip, where I've made the tip nice and bright and with a little dark ridge over it. So it makes a little shadow as if there's like a slight indent there where the nose turns upwards. And the shadows on the side, they help to thin my nose out and make it look a little bit more narrow, especially when viewed from the front. And you'll see that all when I get to the blending stage. It's a little abstract at this point, so it's hard to tell. Now, once I've done that with my nose, I apply this shading to my preference for the shape of my nose that I'd like to achieve. I move on to getting a little bit of under the eyes, and you saw me doing that, and that's just to get rid of some of the bags. But then after that, I go on to contouring the rest of my face, and that's what you can see me doing over here. So I'm applying shading in the areas that I'd like to make appear, more sunken in my face. And so I start off with that forehead, and my forehead is rather large, as men's foreheads tend to be, and therefore trans women also tend to have that issue. So I like to shrink my forehead by applying it all around the edges and leaving brightness in the middle. And then I also do the same with my jawline to just kind of make it sink back into my neck a little bit more and make it softer. And then I do the same thing right around my cheeks and make those look a little bit more hollow. And then I fill in all the rest of the spots with a little bit brighter. And I like to use a even brighter contour color with my cheeks and like under my eyes, just to make those pop a little bit more, give them a little more fullness. And I use my forehead and cheeks the same way, and then I just go ahead and blend it all like you saw me doing there with a blending brush. So I move on to the blush that I like to apply. I just like tap the brush in the powder a little bit, and then I rub it on. And once I do that, I always had this bad habit where it was not well blended with my face, and my mom would end up rubbing my blush. So I've started just taking my blending brush afterwards and blending it a little further. Now, what I'm doing here with my eyes, I like to use a variety of colors. I start off with like a nice light gold, and then I take that over just the whole eyelid. And then I use a more bronze color, a darker bronze on the outsides, on the outer half of both of my eyelids, followed by a light silver on the insides, and then just a touch of dark, like metallic gray on the outsides, and it gives like a nice smoky appearance, and I just rub it all together. And I'm doing a few strokes, the most of each color in the beginning, so 6 strokes of the gold, 3 of the bronze, 2 of the silver, and 1 of the metallic gray. And then from there I move on to my eyebrows, where I use a mascara from NYX, and I find that that's great. I use like a dark brown espresso color because that matches my hair color the best. And then moving on to my eyelashes, I use mascara from CoverGirl, just like Volume Blast or something, the waterproof one, and I find that works well. What I like to do is rotate that brush upwards along my eyelashes, as I'm doing that, and also blink sort of. It's like a slow little blink as I'm rolling that brush, and it just gets a nice even coverage there. And I do that all along the length of my upper eyelash. I ignore the bottom lash, and I don't do any sort of eyeliner. I move on to lipstick as you see, and there you have it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial, and I'm gonna see you in a second back in my studio. Alright, so there you have it. I know that went kind of fast, and that was just because like the whole overall video was 24 minutes, and I didn't want to have you guys sit through 24 minutes, and I also didn't think it was reasonable to go through and slow down certain areas, so I think that is just like the best I can do for now. And if you guys want specific things like actually taught in more slow motion and concentration, I'm more than happy to make smaller videos about the specifics of what I do at different processes, or at different steps along the process of me doing my makeup. So I'm gonna sign off there, and if you guys have any questions, again, don't forget to comment down below. You can also reach me on Instagram and Twitter like always, and I will have posted those up in the front of the video for you to see. Alright, until next time, friends. Bye. Mwah.